Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we'll be doing is we're going to react to the Cleveland Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings Week 2 preseason game. And as always, like I always say in these games, these are preseason games, so any Browns fans that are out there overreacting to the games, relax, it's preseason. The Vikings defeated the Browns 27-12. Now, like I said, it's preseason, it's whatever. The defense looked a little weak. The offensive line for the Browns was not the best. Quarterback play, we'll talk about that. There's a lot of different problems we saw in this game that, as always, with the preseason, a lot of the starters were not playing, but something we can kind of take away from these games is if the starters ever were to go down, these guys are the ones that are going to be kind of going in a lot of times with the backups. The guys that are trying to make the team, these players are the ones that if the stars go down, you want them to go in and play. And so far, they're not playing very good. I'm going to kind of go through and just kind of react to the game. Like I said, offense, defense, special teams, and a bunch of other different things that kind of happen in this game, and just give my opinion on kind of how I think things went. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see, 27-12, Vikings won. It looked closer in the first half. Like, I thought we were going to have a little bit of a game. It was like 13-7 in the first half, and I was like, okay, we got a little bit of a game going on here. And the second half came along, and it was like just straight up all Vikings. The Browns, they couldn't do jack shit. Going into the box score, just to kind of show you the stats, Nick Mullins for the Vikings, he looks like a very solid backup is what I would say. For the way he played, especially going against our team, I would say for what he faced against us, and we were giving a lot of blitzes. Jim Schwartz, he was calling a lot of blitzes. Diabate, the linebacker for the Browns, he was on our team last year. He looks like he's going to be with us this year as well. He looked very good, and he was giving Nick Mullins a lot of trouble. But from the way Nick Mullins was playing, like I said, he could be a very solid backup for the Sam Darnold going forward for the Minnesota Vikings. He faced a very ferocious defense from us, and like I said, the defense looked good. We gave a lot of pressure. The defense was there. Devin Bush from the Browns, he looked very good. The problem the Browns are facing is we have given up too many big plays. The last year, we gave up some big plays, and so far this preseason, we've given up 2 big plays already. Last week to Green Bay against Jordan Love with that big touchdown all the way down the field, and right here with the Vikings. Deshaun Jones, 1 catch for 71 yards, just straight house the motherfucker. Like, we cannot give up these big plays. And again, like I said, it may be preseason, but what happens in preseason can translate over to the regular season. And it wasn't just one big play. As you can see, Jalen Naylor, 1 catch, 31 yards, another big play, another catch. Trent Sherfield Sr., 1 catch, 23 yards. Like, these are big plays that are happening. And as I said a minute ago, I realize these are backups and third strings and guys that are fighting to get on the team. These guys are not just guaranteed spots. Even when the starters go out there, let's say, God forbid, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson, one of these guys get hurt, 2 of these guys get hurt, and one of these guys on our secondary has to go in there and has to play at the position of Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson. These are the guys we're banking on to keep 0 points on the board for the defense. And let me tell you something, if they can't cover these receivers, we got a problem. Now, looking at the Browns defense, I would say this. Like I said, Diabate, he looked very good. Devin Bush, the linebacker we signed from Pittsburgh, there was a part of me that first I was like, I don't know if I want this guy. I don't know how good he is. If he didn't work out in Pittsburgh, what's he going to do with us? And so far, he looks very good. I'm kind of wondering what went wrong in Pittsburgh. We just signed JOK to a big contract, a 3-year extension contract with us to be our linebacker. I'm wondering if he's going to be our middle linebacker or if he's going to be like our outside linebacker, and Devin Bush, maybe we brought him in to where if JOK can be our middle linebacker, Devin Bush can be like a kind of like a more outside linebacker, kind of, we can mesh those two together to be a great tandem duo for us. The rest of the defensive guys, they kind of did their thing. My thing is 27 points in the preseason. Like, what are we doing? It was like I'm watching this defense and they're looking good at first, and then it was like they slowly just kind of let up big plays at the first quarter. They let a touchdown, the back shoulder throw. Nick Mullins threw the back shoulder touchdown throw, and that was just bullshit if you ask me. That the fact that he caught that ball in bounds. The one bright side I'd say about this defense is the fact that Jim Schwartz, like I said, the play calls he was calling were good. He was calling a lot of blitzes, the zone coverages, they were looking good. Like, the plays he called, if our starters were out there, I think this defense is still going to be top 10, even top 5. I'm willing to chalk it up and say, sure, this defense looked a little rough because of who we had out there, so I will chalk it up to that. If we had the starters out there, this defense would have been better. Another thing, whenever it comes to special teams, Cade York, he looks good. I think that's one thing I need to put out there. He looks good. Could he be better? Sure. Like, he's kind of just doing his thing. Like, obviously we have Dustin Hopkins. He's going to be our kicker. Cade York, he's doing his thing. He's whatever. So I'm kind of leaving it at that right now. And moving over to our offense. The offense needs some questions. Number 1, 3 interceptions is what we allowed. One of them we allowed to be picked for 91 yards. Like, we cannot allow this bullshit to be happening. Especially the fact that these plays are what are going to make everything happen. Like I already said, What happens in the preseason, some of it can translate to the regular season, and I don't want this shit happening. Now, when you look at the way the Browns played on offense, obviously Dorotaz Robinson, he played pretty good. He had the one pick, not the pick that we wanted to see happen. He went 13-17, 126 yards. He had the interception, like I said. He only got sacked once. It was a very early sack. It looked like he could have been sacked for a safety, if you ask me. Here's the thing we kind of look at it. He's going to be probably the third string. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's number 1. Jameis Winston's the backup. DTR is going to be number 3. Tyler Huntley. He needs to go. He didn't look too good against Green Bay, and he looked awful here against Minnesota. He looked very bad. 2 interceptions. He did not look good. It's no reason why Baltimore cut his ass. I'm sure we'll probably let him play against Seattle next week towards the end of the fourth quarter, but it's like, at this point, why are you even still quarterback? Like, he can show it to you clear in day that he is not a good quarterback in the NFL. Another thing, I said this last week against Green Bay. They are showing us very clearly in the preseason that they want to be a pass-first team. They want to throw the ball. They want to be all about throwing the ball. 232 passing yards with 56 rushing yards. That screams they want to throw the ball. The problem I'm looking at with this team is they want to throw the ball. Okay, cool. But the offensive line, oh boy. Now, I will point out, we are not playing any starters. None of the starters are out there. Jed Wills is not out there. Jack Conklin's not out there. Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, these guys are not out there. But if one of them goes down, because we've seen it happen a lot in the past few years, Jack Conklin went down. Jed Wills went down last year. Joel Bitonio went down, I think, for a few games. Wyatt Teller has had some injuries. If these guys go down and they get hurt, these are the backups we're planning on putting in there, and this is the offensive line scheme that we're going to put out there on the field. I'd be scared if I was Deshaun Watson. Like, the way they're playing right now, you might get Deshaun Watson killed. You might get Nick Chubb leg broke again. Now, obviously, with the run game, I would say this. They are looking good-ish on running the ball. Once you get Nick Chubb out there, like, if you're getting 56 yards out there with this horrible offensive line, the horrible running backs, I'm not going to say horrible. Dante Foreman, he looks good as like a solid backup behind Nick Chubb. Obviously, if you get the better offensive line out there, they'll be able to run the ball a lot better. Like, I can really see this offense. If Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson was out there, that passing yard could be up around 250, and the running could be easily up around 100 yards. Now, another thing with this offense I kind of want to talk about, Jamari Thrash, he is looking like a very young prospect, like a star in the making for this offense. Like, if he can keep on playing the way he's playing, this offense will be scary with him. If you can get, like I said, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, you have Cedric Tillman, and if you put Jamari Thrash in there, this offense could be something nutty. The way Jamari runs, the way he runs his routes, he's a very crafty route runner. A lot of people have been kind of describing him with the Browns. Could he be like a younger Amari Cooper? Like, I think he's going to be a very fun receiver to kind of watch play in this offense. Now, 2 things this Brown team needs to work on going into week 3 of the preseason. We need to work on our third down defense. That is a must. We let too many times where the Vikings got capitalized on third down. If we can't fix the third down defense, there's going to be a problem this season. And number 2, special teams. More importantly, like covering kickoffs, covering punt returns. We need to fix those things, and if we can get them fixed now, it will be a good sign going into the regular season. And I'm going to kind of wrap it up by just saying this. Hope to God, when the starters get back out there, this team looks good, because right now in the preseason, it's not pretty. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you want to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think the Browns did good, bad? What do you think about the preseason performance? If you're a Browns fan, you want to go ahead and leave your complete opinion on how you think the Browns did down in the comment section down below. Feel free to do so. I'll be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And don't forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.